I'm buying batteries for a giant robot. Cleaning out my PayPal account and a little more. It's alright though. Alright. So I have a location and time for a giant robot test drive. It's at a farm about 45 minutes south of here. And the people who live there I know well enough that I can leave the giant robot there for a few days. I don't have to like set it up, test it, dismantle it, and get it out of there. So that's cool. It's in Wethersfield, Vermont. I'm doing that next Tuesday. Not the one that's just coming up. August 6th. So I have that much time to get the electronics done, drag it all down the mountain, and then one of the people who owns the farm, she said she would come with her truck and help me drive it down there, which is excellent. Of course. Now I'm a little nervous. Is this stupid thing actually going to work? I think so. Probably. I don't know. Maybe. I guess I'll find out. Yeah. No point in worrying about it. I'll just go. And also I had lots of battery advice from a super battery expert. And he was like, oh yeah, this is super easy, just do this and this. Well, this is a little complicated, but you know, you can handle it, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh man, that seems a little complicated. I mean, I'm sure I can get it all to work, but it was like, you know, fancy lithium, fanciness batteries and stuff. And then finally I was just like, alright, wait. I know what it's like when I tell someone something that I have a lot of experience with is really easy. And it's really easy for me because I have a lot of experience, so maybe that's what's going on here. I'm gonna get overwhelmed with too much craziness. So I was like, all right, what are the batteries that I've used that have been the most trouble-free? And that's NiCad batteries, the nickel-cadmium ones. So I decided to just buy a bunch of 24-volt drill batteries, you know, just from like power tools, nickel-cadmium ones. And, you know, they're not the most high-tech, and they're heavy, and this is all stuff I don't care about, though. I don't care how high-tech they are, if they're the fanciest thing, and I don't care if they weigh twice as much as the other ones. It doesn't matter. Even with power tools, I'd rather have the heavy, cheap battery that's not going to break. Anyway, so I bought a bunch of 24-volt DeWalt batteries. These ones don't say DeWalt on them, because I got them cheaper. A lot cheaper, just as replacement batteries for 24-volt DeWalt tools. And I bought 2 chargers. I got 8 of these. So the giant robot motor runs on 130 volts officially, but I'm going to run it on 96. I'm going to put 4 of these in series. Wait, 24 times 4, yeah, it's 96. So 4 of these in series, and then another 4 in series, and those two will be in parallel. And that should be plenty of power. These are 2 amp-hour batteries, and I'm not entirely sure how many amps the robot takes to go. You know, the startup current for a motor is always a lot higher, but nickel-cadmium batteries can deliver a big startup current for a motor without melting, which was one of the big features. This is why I wanted those. I'm guessing around 5 amps running amperage, maybe? Which would mean it would run for like 45, 50 minutes on these. Which is pretty good for a giant robot. That's actually kind of really good. And maybe, if I tweak it a little bit, I can get it to run on less power. I mean, it shouldn't take much power to drive it at all, as long as I have the springs in the top section set to be the right, I mean, I'm not going to get it exact, but roughly the right amount of tension. There are these springs in the robot that even out the forces. So, you know, at one point the robot steps up, and then it goes back down, and without this fancy thing, it would take a lot of power to go up, and then it would take no power to come back down. You know, just in the walking stride. But since I have this spring-loaded thing, the spring helps it go up, and then the spring gets reloaded on the way back down, so it evens it out. Instead of the power going up and down, it's, you know, pretty even. So it shouldn't take much power. So I'm going to have to make sure I get those springs as close as I can estimate with my hands anyway. And if I can get it down to 1 or 2 amps, then it'll run for hours on these, which would be really cool. Of course, that's all dependent on it actually surviving hours. I don't know, might run for 2 minutes and explode. That's not going to explode. I guess there's a chance it could explode, but more likely if there was a problem, something would just snap and the whole thing would go, which would be anticlimactic. Maybe I should just start driving it around and run it into the woods, then crash it. That would be at least a more spectacular ending. That would be much better than it just. But I'm not going to do that. I think I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Right now, I just need to figure out how to attach these motors, and then build some switches. All right, so let's see what the hookups are for this thing. All right, that means there's a positive here and a negative here. I hope this isn't like all confusing. Okay, those seem to be nothing to each other. Oh, great. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's got one positive and these 3 are all negatives. So I guess I can just pick any one of those, probably. Yeah, those are just connected to each other. Okay, good. I know these are connected to each other because there's no voltage between them. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean they're connected. I could check the resistance between them. But anyway, I got a positive terminal over here and a negative one over here. Good enough. Okay, and to double check that. 2 12-volt motors should run on 24 volts for obvious reasons. Oh no. Okay. Okay, it's this one. Alright, there's my positive and there's my negative. These 2 guys are probably something to do with the charging, and I just bought a charge controller. Whatever, I don't care. I just need the... Right. And so I don't forget this. This is the negative, and this is the plusative. Yeah. Alright, and connectors. Oh. Looks like it might fit. Oh, excellent. Well, I guess that's my connectors. So if I just make some little wires with these on the ends, I don't even have to make any fancy slots for these to fit in or anything. I can just plop them down anywhere and just connect them like that. To the next one, to the next one. Right. That's probably what I'll do. I don't need fancy slots. Slots. Who needs slots? Get out of here, slots! Alright, how many of these do I have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. Okay, if I have 8 of these batteries, I'll need 3 wires between one set of 4. Each wire needs 2, so that's 6 connectors. On the other side, you're going to need another 6, so that'll be 12. And then... yeah, coming off this side, I'll need another 2, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, did I say I have 17? Oh, that's great. 1 to spare. Excellent.